Is the real disrespectful. I'm going who you is. I will disrespect you.
Topic in the street. You, Big Flock, the video, controversy behind the video.
Man, no Big Flock, man. He's a big no Big Flock.
Sources ID him as Abdul Vix, a rapper known as YBC Duel, affiliated with the West Philadelphia Young Bag Chasers.
One rapper dissed his op so bad, he got less than a day after the interview. And another dropped the diss on G-Herbo so crazy, he got gunned down by his crew just a few months later. These are times rappers got killed over interviews. And we gotta start off with YBC Duel, because one interview he did was so disrespectful, it got him killed less than a day after it dropped. Duel was known for his extreme antics and dissing dead ops on songs. And some of the disses were so disrespectful, he even earned the name Mr. Disrespectful from his fans. Because he even went as far as digging up one of his ops' grave back in February 2024.
Wow.
Tombstone, dirt up. Hey, yo, where the at, yo? Carney, where the you at?
And that wasn't all, because in May, he was on an episode of No Jumper, and
Can we drop a rest in peace in the comments? Because, you know, everybody attached to this, they have families, somebody loved them in this world. So, you know, definitely write a rest in peace.
completely went off on all of his ops.
All ops, BCK, LMG, 56th Street,
Yeah.
Belmont. Y'all never got back. No, 44 CB Taman, y'all. Look, 38th Street, 38th Street. I ain't even gonna lie. The Dub too. And who else? I ain't gonna lie. It's many more. Collar Hill, Parkside, Blue for Bud. Is the real disrespectful. I'm going who you is. I will disrespect you.
Because just the day before, Brandon Buckingham had posted an interview he did with YBC Duel, in which Duel talked on his beef with his ops and about how he and his crew were really getting the ops smoked. He even mentioned how almost no one in their hood, including his ops, were ever outside. Because according to Duel, he and his gang were terrorizing the block up.
It just took Drake and he got gun butted with it. Real, go listen to it. Every mom, dad, sisters, brothers. We proving a point. No, it ain't no block you could go on down here and people outside. We blocks up. Never got robbed. I never got touched, shot at in the city.
I'm outside right now with the most disrespectful rapper in America.
And we on feet on land.
Block, feet on land.
They in the comments on No Jumper till my man don't be outside. My man outside every day, all day.
I pulled up at 2 p.m. It's almost midnight.
And it almost sounded like he was bragging about it at one point, but his ops would eventually get the drop on him. And on August 23rd, 2024, a car pulled up on him while he was at a stoplight in Philly and let off 5 shots, hitting him in his hand and chest before speeding off down the street.
We are learning new details about the investigation into the murder of a person police say is a well-known gang member.
Wow.
The sound coming from this surveillance video. According to Philadelphia police, the deadly claimed the life of Abdul Vix, also known as Young Duel.
His friend tried rushing him to the hospital, but unfortunately, he ended up passing away. And he probably should have eased up with all the dissing, since that's how many of his homies also went out. But
Real quick, man, this whole, there's this group of people that idolize this. And it's good that it stopped on this part of the screen, you know. You can't do this. You can't idolize people that's not here. You know what I'm saying? That whole culture need to stop because you taking it too far. Yo, honestly, get at me while I'm alive. If I'm gone and you still talking about me, you taking it too far. You know what I mean? You're touching people's emotions while they're here, and that's exactly what he did. Rest in peace to him, but this was not worth it.
if you thought that was crazy, one rapper lost his life for saying too much in his interview, and another died for speaking on his op. But first, let's talk about Tan the God, because her situation is even crazier than what happened to YBC Duel, and she made headlines back in 2023 for allegedly killing her ex and making a whole project about it. Because Tan was an up-and-coming rapper from Oakland, and she'd been in the rap scene for a long time. But in 2023, she went viral for dropping a project called X Woodpack. Nobody knows what.
Do she think because she a female, she exempt? You not exempt from you not exempt. It's like if you did something to my family member, I'm mad. I want to do something to your family member. That's how I feel. But if you taunting me, and if something happened, let's say it happened and it got kicked out of court and you're taunting me, now you're just asking for it. A female's not exempt from these kind of rules.
What really went down. But Tan the God made it sound like she killed her ex-boyfriend and was smoking on him. Tan even went on Kid L's podcast to speak on the situation. And she didn't really say that she killed her ex. But Tan the God told Kid L,
threatening family and you know, and you know where people live. And I think about it, I'm like, you know where my loved ones live, you gotta go. you got to go. Especially if you got the audacity to threaten them. What? You threatening my people? Everybody gonna die. Oh, is we?
During the interview, Tan made it sound like her ex had abused her and was sending death threats to her family. And that's why she allegedly took him out. Kidell even asked Tan how she was free, since the cops should have done something by now.
Did they like side with you on it? Like, how did you evade like any type of like consequence, basically?
And Tan the guy told him,
we gonna find that out on September 23rd.
Okay.
And after the Kidell interview dropped, everyone was trying to figure out what it really went down. And some people thought Tan was just talking crazy for clout. But then rumors started going around that she really did kill the dude and that she was even in the witness protection program. And about a month after her Kidell interview, Tan went on Off the Porch to announce that she beat the case.
Yo,
and that
do you see what's on that porch? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's too much for clout. Why do you have a gravestone on a porch as a part of your interview? Even if you did it, it's like you telling the world too much. Just write too much if this is too much.
And if things hadn't worked out, she'd have probably done the race like TK. And people still weren't sure if she was clowning or not. But then she brought a tombstone of her ex on the interview to show she was really smoking on him and said,
extra childish, making families mad. Oh well, because they ain't gonna do about it.
Smoking on that Axwood pack.
Oh yeah, you know it. Matter of fact,
wow,
I got the smoke on this dead mother as we speak. Hold up.
Yo.
Hold on, let me get my love.
But things eventually go left for Tan the God, because in July 2024, she was doing a meet and greet and performing for the grand opening of a beauty supply shop in Oakland. When out of nowhere, a dude ran up on her and shot her in front of everybody in broad daylight. According to reports, a dude in a hoodie walked in behind her after she was done chopping it up with her fans and allegedly got into some kind of argument with her. And that's when he upped the strap and started letting off shots. After the shots rang out, fans reported hearing Tan the God screaming, "I'm hit," and the paramedics soon rolled up to the scene to rush Tan to the hospital. But she was tragically pronounced dead just a couple hours later. And after the news broke, a lot of different stories started flying around about what really went down. At first, nobody knew why Tan the God got hit, but fans started connecting the dots to her interviews and the project she dropped back in 2023. And it's really tragic since Tan the God was finally starting to get some motion in the rap game. And sometimes it's best not to even speak on things you did in interviews to gain clout, because that's part of the reason rapper G Money lost his life. Because NBA Youngboy and G Money were close friends at one point. But then G Money pulled this move in a 2017 interview with Say Cheese, because he says
he mad about his sister too though.
About his sister?
Yeah, I had a long time ago.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's mad about that. He wasn't really tripping on it back then, though, you know what I'm saying? He be calling me big brother.
And after this interview, G Money then went on to drop a diss on Youngboy named Industry. And in the song, he gets disrespectful, saying, "Your sister swallowed, so I never kissed her, but I with her, so I never dissed her." G Money was rising in fame after all of this, but he wasn't moving too smart and kept sending disses at NBA Youngboy and his homies, saying how he was still recording at the same studio and driving the same cars. And the beef ended up getting so serious that it led to gun violence. G Money was in the studio one night finishing up another recording session until shortly after leaving around 1 a.m. he was shot by an unknown person who was waiting for him at the door. And Youngboy spoke on the situation in a song named Poor One, where he rapped, "Matter of fact, I used to call you my big brother. Then you did some foul, and that with my sister." But G Money isn't the only rapper from TBG who died after dissing someone. And it didn't turn out good. The same happened with Boulevard Quick. Because in 2018, after Quick got out of prison, he started going hard with the music as well. And in August 2018, he dropped the video.
Yo, do any of y'all know these last two artists? I don't know who these last two artists are.
For the song, Never Lacking. And at the end, he went on a huge rant against Youngboy.
Pull up. Back. Don't chill. You know, TBG Gorilla Gang. Long live G Money. I'ma talk my. I don't hide behind money. Cause I ain't got that much. So I'm in the field. Can't be. It must be counterfeit. You drop the bag while I'm still breathing.
And Youngboy's mom hopped in and told Boulevard Quick to leave him alone. But Boulevard Quick wasn't hearing that and responded, telling her to mind her business, which really pissed Youngboy off.
Hey, man. Come on.
Wow.
Out there. That eat a big long.
So just a few weeks later, he was In November 2018, the police found Quick's body in the parking lot of his apartment complex. YB spoke on the situation on Impact, saying, "They spoke on my mama. I ain't want to talk. I end up killing her." But now, let's move on to OG Man Man, because he wasn't a real rapper like YBC Duel and 10 to God, but he went viral in 2016 for dropping a diss with a music video so disrespectful, even DJ Academic straight up called it demonic. OG Man Man was one of DMV's biggest hitters, and his name was well respected in the streets. But then, he decided to have relations with Big Flock's girl, who was one of his homies at the time. And that's what pissed Big Flock off, because when he found out about it,
so he must be from Philly, because the other guy said the same thing. So is they all from Philly? Give me some backstory in the comments.
Dropped the diss on Man Man called The Intro, calling out OG as a snitch for the feds, where he rapped. A man turned to informant, thought that he was real. He put on a good performance. And Man Man wasn't too happy with the diss, since his crew really hated snitches. So when he finally got out of jail, he took to the studio to record Truth, one of the most disrespectful disses of all time, in which he rapped, "I know why you mad, cause I'm your. Stop playing with me, talking about I'm snitching. Rest in peace to Lil Chris. Yeah, I know they miss him. Don't trip. His whole squad gonna lay there with him." And that wasn't all, because the music video was actually shot at C. Diddy's grave, one of Big Flock's closest homies and most respected gang member that had died. And after the video dropped, Man Man even linked up with Cutthroat TV for an interview in which he doubled down on his claims, dissing Big Flock and his crew even more.
Big Flock, the video, controversy behind the video.
Man, no Big Flock, man. He's a big. No Big Flock. He mad. He mad. He want my life. He mad. He ain't me. So, you know, I had to go on him like I went on him. It's simple. I don't go about you, your dead man, your mother, your father, your grandmother.
Crazy.
I don't give none of that. But I'm gonna go on you, your dead man, your mother, your grandfather, all that. Okay? You feel me? Like, you don't disrespect me and think I ain't gonna say nothing to you. I ain't one of them you think you gonna say something to when I say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing back. Like, I know the real him. That's why the song came about, the truth. It ain't a sneak diss, it's the truth.
But Big Flock didn't take the dissing lightly. And unfortunately, OG Man Man would end up losing his life over it. Because on June 12th, 2016, Man Man received a call from someone who wanted him to pull up to Southeast DC for a cookout they were gonna have later that night. But once OG pulled up, a man walked up to him, his blick, letting off multiple shots and ending his life. Many suspected Big Flock as soon as it happened. And the cops later raided Flock's home for evidence, but found nothing more than rounds of ammunition and a few $1,000s worth of narcotics. And since there was no way to prove his involvement in Man Man's death, he was instead charged with illegal possession of firearms and drugs, which he took a plea deal for and got 45 months in jail. Let's move on a little.
Now, you know what's kind of crazy is that these people are signing up for, we got to make better decisions for our future. We can't live a life like there's no future, because, you know, when you young, and I get it, you young, you having fun, but make better decisions for your future. If that touched you, right, future, because that's the reality of it. These guys are not thinking about their future. You can have a different mindset 10 years from now. You're not going to feel the same, so leave room for your future.
JoJo, because he started to make a name for himself back in 2012 after dropping his song BDK, in which he took shots at the Black Disciples. He was a dude from the south side of Chicago who repped the gang Brick Squad, who was a subground of the Gangster Disciples. And at first, JoJo wasn't a rapper, but after hearing a diss Lil Durk drop on his gang back in 2012 called L's Anthem, he decided to hop in the booth to shoot back. On April 27th, 2012, Lil JoJo dropped a remix of Chief Keef's song Every Day called BDK, aka 300K, which took shots at the whole BDK gang, including Chief Keef, Lil Reese, and Durk. And JoJo didn't stop there, because his BDK track got so much attention that he decided to keep dropping disses to build up his career as a rapper. He followed up with the track Tied Up, in which he took more shots at Keef, and another diss, which was a remix of the Yo Gotti song I Got That Sack, in which he claimed that one of his homies had knocked Lil Reese out, saying, "Catch him in traffic with Lil Reese, man, they gon' feel this Mac. BDK, that's my team and my city got my back. Went to school with these, but they don't mean my tail knocked them out. You should have seen that." And in the outro of the song, they took it a step further by taking shots at David Barksdale, aka King David, the founder of the Black Disciples. And JoJo's homie Pete Rico can be heard shouting, and JoJo going dumb on Durk's BDK, die L's on Queen Dave. And many took offense to the diss, because Lil JoJo was also quickly becoming one of the most hated GDs in the city. And he still wasn't done with the dissing, because he downplayed his op on a TP radio interview and told the interviewer that he wasn't done with the 300K disses, since he had some sort of sequel in mind for the project.
What's the actual title to it?
300K, straight like that. Ain't no BK, 300K.
So you got a part 2 coming out to that, right? Or how you gonna do that? What is that?
Part 2 is just a little series of videos.
Oh, okay, this is all gonna tie into one thing though, or how this going?
It'll be like a little movie.
Okay, bet that.
But on September 4th, 2012, Lil JoJo would lose his life in a very tragic way. He was riding with his homie's bike along 69th Street when a car pulled up on him and let off shots, hitting him to the ground, and unfortunately, he'd be pronounced dead at the hospital. And JoJo made a grave mistake because just a few minutes prior, he had dropped his location on Twitter, tagging Lil Reese, basically telling him that he was outside if Reese was really down for the action. Many suspected Lil Reese was the one behind the hit, seeing as they'd been going back and forth for months prior to the shooting. And right after it happened, Chief Keef also went on Twitter to clown JoJo out, saying it's sad because JoJo wanted to be just like us. Lil Reese and Chief Keef were both taken into questioning, but no charges were filed since the cops couldn't make a clear connection, and no one was ever arrested for the death of Lil JoJo. But about a year later, Swag Dinero, who was JoJo's older brother, hinted that whoever was responsible for the hit was no longer breathing because he tweeted on phone them, "Y'all don't know how this go for real. Hashtag no talking. Even the ops know the MF who took my bro ain't walking this earth no more." And the whole situation's pretty sad since Lil JoJo was just starting to see some buzz in the city. But now, let's move on to FB.
Now, I'm going to stop it right here. And the reason I'm going to stop it right here, because the stories are going to be similar. It's going to be another crazy interviewer or somebody that's not from that culture, that's in that culture, that gets to be a vulture of that culture and use these guys until this happens. The thing about that last situation that's crazy is a lot of things that happen in Chicago is from them beefing with each other at 15 years old. So imagine you make a choice at 15 years old to make somebody your enemy and they become your enemy for the next 20 years. That's what's going on. And it's generational beef upon generational beef upon generational beef. So it's one thing to have a song, but this is generational things that are going on. And I want y'all to keep that in your mind as we watch these videos and vibe out. This is generational things going on. You know, as we're watching it and we're getting entertainment out of it, people's lives are on the line. And we watching these different interviews and stuff, people's lives on the line. So I wanted to watch this because it's realistic. You know, a lot of the things I want to do on this channel, they're all realistic. If you like realistic content, make sure you subscribe at the top bell. Do that right now so I can move this on the algorithm. We get 1 million views. Other than that, I need 100,000 subs by the end of the year. See you on the next one.